Good evening to all of y'all. Hope you all can hear me clearly. So today is the second day of the science webinar. So today we will be studying physics, right? So still we have participants joining. So inshallah we'll start in another 2 minutes time, inshallah. Hope all of you all know what lesson we'll be studying today, right? The YouTube link is also put in the chat box. So Shifan sir has put it in the chat box, so you can share it with your friends if they are unable to get into the Zoom group. Miss Nabila?
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
Shall we start the lesson now?
Yes.
Okay.
Inshallah.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, children. So I hope that you have learned biology lesson yesterday, and it was very interesting also. And today we are going to learn a physics lesson, which is a very basic lesson and very easy, but the children will find it difficult because they do not understand the basic principle, right? So here I am going to discuss about the motion in a straight line. It's in the grade 10 syllabus. You are unit 2 in grade 10 syllabus, right? Motion in a straight line. When an object is moving in a straight line, how this object has several characters, right? How these characters are appearing, or how these characters are varying from each other, we are discussing there, right? So motion in a straight line is a very basic lesson, but if you don't know this basic lesson, it's very hard to move on for the later physics lessons, right? So shall we start the lesson? And I hope that only 100 participants are participating in the session, right? So you can join through the YouTube link. And I have to make an announcement that keep a book, notebook, and a pencil or a pen with you, because this is not a listening lesson, because you have to do some have to draw some graphs, have to do some calculations with me. So if you can keep a pen with a notebook, then it will be easy for you to understand. Yes, we will be giving you the PowerPoint presentation after the session is over. We will be mailing them to those who have registered. And but for time being, when you're listening to me, just keep a pen and a notebook with you, right? So motion in a straight line. When a vehicle or object is moving in a horizontal line or a vertical line, there are 4 terms that you should know, right? Motion in a straight line, when we are considering a movement of an object, there are 4 words, main keywords that you should know. So let's learn about these keywords. The first keyword is the distance, right? When an object is moving from one place to another, distance and displacement. We talk about the distance, how far that object have been moved from one place to another, right? So for example, think that you are traveling from Colombo to Kandy, right? So you have traveled 100 kilometers throughout the distance, right? That is known as the distance. And there are two words, distance and displacement. These two words are interconnected but have a slight difference. Distance is the total length of the path. If a person is taking a path to go from one place to another, that path, the distance along that path, we call it as distance. And displacement is the shortest distance between the 2 points in a particular direction, right? Shorter distance in between the two particular direction. So here a man can go from this place to this place, starting to ending, right? Through vehicle, through this path, right? But the shortest distance is the straight line from the starting point to the ending point. Right? This shortest distance, we call it as displacement, and the path that covers the whole distance, we call it simply as distance. That is the two difference. And distance have a direction. Distance always have a direction, and displacement have a direction, and distance does not have a direction. The direction of the distance will change gradually according to how the man is moving, but the displacement, they have a definite direction throughout the distance, right? From the starting point to the ending point. So these are the two words that are important, two keywords. Out of the 4 keywords, these are the 2 keywords that are very important when we are talking about motion in a straight line, when an object is moving in a straight line. Okay. Here is a question for you to answer, right? To see whether you have understood the difference between distance and displacement. A child starts from point A and walks 40 meters to the east until he reaches another point B, and from point B he walks 30 meters to the north to reach the point C as shown in the picture, right? So what is the total distance traveled by the child? Now you can answer. Yes, 70 meters. I'm getting answers, right? So the child traveled from A to B 40 meters, and from B to C 30 meters. The total distance traveled was 70 meters, right? So that is the total distance. They are asking about the total distance. The child have taken this path from A to B and to C. So the answer is 70 meters, right? Very good. And the next question. What is his displacement? Yes, 50 meters. This is the short. The child has moved from A to C. So the shortest distance between A to C is 50 meters. So the answer is 50 meters, right? So you got it very clearly. So let's move on to the next one. Here, a man is moving from home to the shop, right? A man is moving from home to the shop, and again after buying something, he is returning home, right? So here the distance between the home to the shop is 4 meters. So how much distance that man have traveled? The distance that man have traveled 8 meters, right? What about the displacement? Displacement is 0. Why? Because the man who is going from home and again coming to the home, the shortest distance between the 2 points, that means that at the same point, the man ends the journey at the same point. He is coming to the same point where he started the journey. So there is no displacement. There is no shortest distance. So the displacement is 0, right? Because he is returning back to the starting point, right? So I know the answer is already on the screen, but I am explaining this because to understand the difference between the distance and displacement, right? Okay. The other two keywords which are important when we are discussing about motion in a straight line, speed and velocity, right? What is speed? Speed is the distance traveled through unit time, right? We know what is distance and we know what is displacement, right? So speed is distance traveled in a unit time, we call it as speed, and velocity we call it as displacement over unit time, right? Displacement over unit time. So since displacement is having a direction, the displacement always have a direction or definite direction. Because of that, velocity also have a direction, but speed does not have a direction. And these are the formulas that are used to calculate speed and velocity. Speed is equal to distance over time. Velocity is equal to displacement over time. Right. Okay. Here is a question for you to answer. Very simple one. What you have to do here. A bus travels 100 kilometers in 4 hours. Calculate the average speed. Right? So these kind of questions usually come for a MCQ question, right? So it's very easy for you to answer. If you know the formula, which formula to use? So the answer I am getting 25. Very good. 25. What is the unit? So in physics, units are very important because in an MCQ question, they will give the correct answer with the incorrect unit. So if you don't know the proper units, you will go for a wrong answer, right? So 25 kilometers per hour, right? 25 kilometers per hour, right? Remember, units are very important. Always remember what is the correct unit with the correct answer. Then only you can answer the correct, you can find the correct MCQ question, right? Okay, here is another question. A child has moved forward. Yes, kilometers per hour is correct. That is the answer for the question number 3, right? 25 kilometers per hour. A child has moved forward by 8 meters at uniform velocity, right? Uniform velocity means the velocity is not changing, right? The velocity is not changing throughout the velocity is same, right? So it is not changing throughout the journey. For 4 seconds, find the velocity, right? So I am getting answers. Okay, 2 ms minus 2. 2 ms minus 1. Right. 2 is the answer, right? 2 is the answer with the unit, right? So I am asking every time when you are answering, don't just keep it as 2. 2 ms minus 1 is the answer. Okay. Always remember units are very important in physics, even and chemistry, right? When you're doing chemistry calculations and physics calculations, units are very important. Without units, they will not give marks for your answers. Okay. So there are some other things you need to know. In this lesson, we learn them also. Scalar versus vector quantity, right? Very simple thing that you have already learned in earlier grades also. What is a scalar quantity? what is a vector quantity, right? A physical quantity which can be described only by its magnitude is called scalar quantity. Speed, mass, time, and distance. These have only a magnitude. That means a value is there, no direction. A direction is not there, only a value is there, right? So that is known as scalar quantity. A physical quantity which can be described by its magnitude and direction is called a vector quantity, right? Vector quantity have both a magnitude and a direction. For example, displacement, acceleration, velocity, and weight comes under vector quantities. There is a symbol for velocity. Yes, velocity we are giving a symbol as V, simple V, right? And there are any quantities which do not have a unit. Yes, there are quantities which do not have a unit, but not in physics, right? In chemistry, you can find units, you can find measuring quantities which are do not have units, right? But for physics, every quantities, they have a unit. They have a specific unit, right? So these are scalar quantities and these are vector quantities. And here is a question for you. This question came in 2019 MCQ paper. Right, I am getting answers. Which following quantity is a vector? Right, the answer is 1, displacement. Correct. 3, pressure is not the answer. I am getting answer as 3. Pressure, when object is having a pressure, from it can be affected from all the directions, right? So this doesn't have a specific direction. So pressure is not a vector quantity, it is a scalar quantity, right? Okay, right. So we learned about 4 major keywords in motion in a straight line. So apart from them, there is another keyword, acceleration, right? So acceleration is a rate of change of the velocity. You know velocity or the speed, right? If a vehicle is traveling from one place to another, it cannot keep a constant velocity, right? So assume that a vehicle is traveling at a 10 kilometers per hour, right? Can it move at 10 kilometers per hour throughout the journey? Can't. They have to increase their velocity from 10 kilometers per hour to 20 kilometers per hour, 30 kilometers per hour. Likewise, they have to increase the speed or velocity, right? So this increasing of the speed is known as acceleration. Acceleration is the rate of change of the velocity, or else we can say it as increase of the speed or velocity when we are simply saying increasing the speed or velocity, right? So the change in the velocity per unit time is acceleration. This change happens, the increasing of the speed happens in a given time. So that time is also relative to acceleration, right? So acceleration is equal to, there is a formula to find the acceleration. Final velocity, right? The velocity is changing from one to another, no? From 10 kilometers per hour to 20 kilometers per hour, it is changing, right? So final velocity here, when in my example, if a vehicle is changing its velocity or speed from 10 to 20 kilometers per hour, what is the final velocity? Final velocity is 20 kilometers per hour and the initial velocity is 10 kilometers per hour, right? This change happening, if we assume that this change is happening within a 10 seconds, right? That is the time given here, right? So it's very easy if you know the formulas very clearly, and if you remember the formulas very clearly, when a question comes regarding this, if they ask you to find the acceleration, if you know the formulas, it will be easy to score marks very easily, right? So here we are studying physics, but in physics, when we are using formulas, there are maths also included, right? So, but you don't need to have the final answer. That means the most simplified answers are not needed. If it is very easy, you have to have, but if it is hard, you can keep it with a simplified version. That's enough, right? So physics is not hard if you remember the basic definitions with the formula. Then you can do the questions very clearly and you can get marks very easily, because there is nothing to memorize. If you understand, if you remember the basic principles, you can get easy marks from physics questions. Because when you even write in an essay question or a structured essay question, if you write the formula, they will give 1 marks, right? That depends on the marking scheme, right? If you write even the formula, if you don't know how to apply the values, if you don't know to do other things, even if you write the formulas, they will give 1 mark. So these are the study tips you need to know when you are going to face your O-level examination, right? So let's move on. How to use this acceleration formula by this question, right? So here is a question for you to answer. A velocity of an object moving on a straight line was 2 ms minus 1 at a certain instant. Its velocity changed to 6 ms minus 1 after accelerating for 4 seconds. Find the acceleration during the 4-second period, right? So when a question like this comes, if you can't understand, this is a 4-line paragraph like question, no? Right. So if you can't understand the question properly, so I have a study tip for you. Just draw it. Just draw it as you can once you read the question, right? So here, a velocity of an object moving on a straight line. This object is moving. At certain instant, its velocity is 2 ms minus 1. And the velocity is changing to 6 ms minus 2 after traveling for some time, right? So that traveling time is 4 seconds. And because the velocity is changing from 2 to 6, that means there is an acceleration happening in between the journey. The velocity is increasing, right? Velocity is increasing. Okay. So the answer will be 1 ms minus 2. Correct. So the answer is 1 ms minus 2. The final velocity is 6 ms minus 1. And the initial velocity is 2 ms minus 1. And the time taken to change the velocity is 4 seconds. And the acceleration is 1 ms minus 2, right? So the units of acceleration is 1 ms minus 2. Okay, right. So we are going to discuss another chapter here, another section, graphs, right? In this lesson, you learned about several keywords: distance, displacement, speed, velocity, and acceleration, along how these characters are getting different along with the time, right? So we can graphically represent these changes, right? So when the displacement is changing throughout the time, when an object is moving from one place to another, it's moving in a certain distance, it's moving for a certain distance in a given time. This can be graphically represented, right? It can be graphically represented, and this representation is called as displacement time graph. Here, they have given a table regarding an object moving from zero. That means moving, starting to move, right? At the first second, it's moving 3 meters, and the second it is moving 6 meters, and the third one it's moving 9, and the after 4 seconds moving 12 meters, and after 5 seconds it's moving 15 meters, right? So to draw the displacement time graph, right? So we are using this table to draw the displacement time graph from time 0. Here the x-axis is named as time, and the y-axis is named as displacement, right? And here when the paper, when they ask you to draw a displacement time graph, it is very important, right? It is very important to name the axis correctly. If you can't name the axis correctly, no marks will be given, right? So here, using this table, they have drawn the displacement time graph. 0, 0, 1, 3 here, 2, 6 here, 3, 9 here, 4, 12 here, and 5, 15 here. Madam, do we need to draw the graph for exams? Yes, sometimes for essay questions, they will give you to draw the graphs. Okay. So, using the graph, we can find the velocity. Using the displacement time graph, we can draw the velocity. How? By the gradient of the graph, we can find the velocity, right? So this is maths. Here a maths part is coming, right? Gradient, we can find it by difference between y coordinates is divided by difference between x coordinates, right? So we can find the velocity. In essay question, should we really write essays? No, you have to answer the questions, right? So it's not an we call it as essay type questions because you have to use extra paper for it, right? No, not like an English lit, right? So once they ask a question, right, we'll do questions regarding essay questions, right? So then you will understand how you have to answer the questions, right? Okay, here velocity can be found by the gradient of the displacement time graph. Here, from point A to point B, they have marked 2 points. From these 2 points, they are taking the y coordinate, x coordinates and y coordinates. By this, they are calculating the gradient, right? So there are so many unwanted messages, right? So okay, it's okay. If you can concentrate on the lesson, it's better, right? Okay, let's move on to the lesson, and by gradient you can find the velocity, right? So here are 3 types of displacement time graphs that are used in a displacement time graph. 3 instances, right? So here, if a displacement time graph is drawn like this, a straight line which is parallel to the x-axis, that means that displacement, that means that object is at rest. Displacement, if there is no displacement, that means the object is not moving. If the object is moving only, there will be a distance. The object will move, then there will be a distance. The distance will increase. Here the distance is not increasing over time, means the object is at the same place. Here it is moving, increasing. The graph is given as increase. The displacement is increasing over time. So if the distance is increasing over time, displacement is increasing over time, then the object is moving in a uniform velocity. Here it is a straight line. Since it is a straight line, we tell that the object is moving at a uniform velocity. That means the speed or the velocity is not changed, right? Throughout the time, the speed or the velocity is not changing. It's at the same speed. The object is moving in the same speed. Here the graph is curved, but the displacement is increasing over time. But here it is not uniform velocity, it is just velocity, right? Acceleration, right? The distance is increasing, it is not uniform velocity. Yes, uniform velocity, and it is accelerating. That means the speed is increasing over time. Okay. Can the graph line go down? Yes, of course, the graph line can go down if the object is moving the other side. That means the displacement is always having a direction. Now, if we assume that a car is moving from east to west, and again it is turning back and moving to east, then the graph will show downward direction because the direction is changing, displacement is having a direction, right? Can you explain the C? Right. Okay, here C is the graph is curved. Graph is curved means the distance is increasing but not uniform. The distance does not increase in uniform, right? But gradually changes. That means with time it is having a velocity, but the velocity changes over time. So it is accelerating, right? Here the result of B is it is uniform velocity, right? Here it is the object is at rest, uniform velocity, acceleration. Okay, here is a question for you to answer from taken from 2016 MCQ paper, right? Can I get the answers? Okay, they have given a table regarding the motion of an object in a straight line. Which of the following statement is correct according to the above information? What is the answer? The object has moved at a uniform velocity during the total period, right? If an object is moving in a uniform velocity, that means the displacement, that means the distance should increase gradually from 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. Likewise, it have to increase. But here you can't see this. It is not gradual. So it is not moving in a uniform velocity. The mean velocity of the object is 3 ms minus 1 during the entire motion, right? So how can we find velocity? Velocity is equal to displacement over time, right? The final displacement is 18 and time traveled is 6. That means displacement over time 3 ms minus 1. That is the correct answer. 2. Mean velocity we can find it by displacement over time. Okay. The object has come again to the starting point. If the object is coming again to the starting point, what will happen to the displacement? Displacement will be 0. displacement will be 0. The total distance traveled by the object is 70 meters. That is absolutely wrong because the total distance traveled by the object is 18 meters, right? So I can explain it again. The object has moved at a uniform velocity during the total path. That statement is incorrect. Why? Here we can see in the table, the displacement is increasing but not gradual. That means the interval between two distance 4, 8, there is 4 meters have been increased. Here 8, 10, only 2 meters have been increased, right? There is no a pattern is not there. So if the pattern is not seen, that means it is not moving in a uniform velocity, right? So the mean velocity or the average velocity of the object is 3 ms minus 1, right? So we can find the velocity, mean velocity, by the displacement over time. The displacement over time. 18 over 6. That means 3. So number 2 is the correct answer. The object has come again to the starting point. That means that is also incorrect because if the object is coming again to the starting point, what happens? The displacement at end of the 6 seconds should be 0. It is not 0, then it is not coming to the starting position again. So total distance traveled by the object is 70 meters. It is also incorrect because the distance traveled within the 6 seconds is 18 meters. Right. Okay. Velocity time graph. Right. We learned about this displacement time graph. The other graph we are going to learn is velocity time graph. Right. How speed is changing over time in given time, but how the speed or the velocity is different, getting different, right? So here there are three graph patterns are here. You can draw speed increasing. If speed is increasing, we are drawing the graph like this. Speed decreasing, and if we are drawing the graph like this. And constant speed means uniform velocity. That means the speed is not changing throughout the time. The speed is not changing. Speed and velocity be the same thing. Yes, of course, that can be same thing, but velocity is having a direction and speed does not have a direction. That is the difference between speed and velocity, right? Do we have curved graphs in VT graphs too? VT graphs, we can have curved graphs, but for you, there is no curved graph for your syllabus, right? Uniform acceleration and uniform deceleration and uniform velocity. So I can't understand why, what is this question, right? Uniform acceleration, uniform deceleration, and uniform velocity. We usually say uniform velocity. That means the velocity is same throughout the time. The acceleration can be different and deceleration can be different, right? Okay. Here the graphs are acceleration, deceleration, and uniform velocity. We are naming these graphs as acceleration, deceleration, and uniform velocity because you don't have a curved graph. Do not think about these other things, right? For velocity time graph. And remember, displacement time graph and velocity time graph, there are different type graph patterns are there. So remember those things and clearly understand what graph will come to what. If they ask you to draw a displacement time graph, don't draw the velocity time graph, right? These are the common mistakes that students do during the exam, right? What is the difference between velocity graph and displacement, right? Displacement means if an object is moving from one place to another, it is traveling a certain distance. So what is the distance traveled through a certain distance in a given time? We are representing in a displacement time graph. Velocity time graph, if object is moving from one place to another, the speed, the object either increasing the speed or going in the same speed or it is slowing down, right? So what is this speed? How the speed is changing throughout the time, we are graphically representing in a velocity time graph. These are the differences of velocity time graph and displacement time graph. Non-uniformal acceleration is a curved graph. That is not for you, right? Constant speed is the uniform speed. That means if an object is moving in a same speed, right? If it is going in a same speed, let's assume that a vehicle is traveling from Colombo to Kandy in 60 kilometers per hour, right? 60 kilometers per hour, it's not changing the speed, right? Directly it is going 60 kilometers per hour, even if it is not possible, it is theoretical, but that is known as the constant speed or the uniform velocity, right? Okay, so by velocity time graph, by the gradient of the velocity time graph, we can find the acceleration. So if I ask you a question like this, from the gradient of the displacement time graph, right? By the gradient of the displacement time graph, what can we find? By the gradient of the velocity time graph, we can find the acceleration. From the gradient of the displacement time graph, what we can find? Okay, right, velocity. We can find the velocity. Okay, so by the area, of the graph under the velocity time graph, magnitude of the area under the velocity time graph, the displacement, we can find the displacement, right? So we it might not be clear for you now. Let's do a question, then you will understand. Okay, here is the question for you to answer, right? It will take some time. Okay, take your time. I will be giving 1 minute for you to answer, you to understand the question, right? So if you have, that's why I want you to keep a pen and a notebook with you. If a question like this comes, you just draw a sketch. If you can draw a sketch, then you will clearly understand what the question is saying, right? A vehicle starts from rest, accelerates for 10 seconds and travels in uniform velocity for another 10 seconds. By applying brakes, it starts to slow down and stops in another 10 seconds. Draw the velocity time graph. In a question like this, if it is coming for the structured essay or essay type question, when for drawing the velocity time graph, right? For drawing the velocity time graph, there are 3 marks will be given, right? The units for velocity is ms minus 1. So to draw the velocity time graph, you do not need the displacement, right? This is a question regarding the velocity time graph, right? You just have to draw velocity time graph. In the y-axis, you have to draw, you have to give the velocity, and in the x-axis, you have to give the time. Units for velocity is ms minus 1. Okay, these are the questions. For velocity time graph, usually in a marking scheme, they will allocate 3 marks. To drawing the x-axis and the y-axis correctly, 1 mark. For the shape of the graph, another 1 mark. For giving the values correctly, right? Giving the values correctly, 1 marks. Likewise, 3 marks will be allocated for the velocity time graph, right? So how can we find the acceleration without velocity? How can we find the acceleration without velocity? How? I said using the velocity time graph, we can find the acceleration, right? We can find the acceleration using velocity time graph. How? By the gradient. We can find the distance or displacement by the area of the graph, right? So let's move on for the answers, right? Here is the velocity time graph. The object is moving, accelerating for the first 10 seconds, right? First 10 seconds, and going in a uniform velocity in another 10 seconds, and decelerating, or else the acceleration, the retardation is happening, right? And this is the velocity time graph. Can we just assume like this? We can't assume, right? We have to the value with the values we have to draw the graph, right? For the shape of the graph, they are giving 1 marks. For marking the axis correctly, they are giving 1 marks. For marking the values correctly, they are giving 1 marks. Altogether there is 3 marks will be given, right? So the next one, they are asking the acceleration, right? Acceleration is equal to the grade. From the gradient we can find the acceleration, difference between y coordinates and the difference between x coordinates, right? The acceleration will be 0.5 ms minus 2. They haven't given a velocity, given a value for velocity, ma'am, right? Let's see whether it's given or not. Okay, there is a problem, right? You figured it out. Very good, right? There is no velocity in the question. So without the velocity, you can't do the question, right? Okay. So now once you know the velocity graph, okay. Once you know the velocity graph, now you can see the velocity graph now. So now you can find the acceleration. Can you? Right. 0.5 ms minus 2. The next part is find the total distance traveled by the object, right, or the vehicle. Okay. How can we find it? Area, right? By the area we can find it. Okay, I am getting answers. 100 meters. Okay. Total distance traveled by is the area of the trapezium. Here the graph is a trapezium. The graph is a trapezium. By the area of the trapezium, you can find the displacement or the total distance. I can't understand means what is the part you can't understand? You have to specify, because if you can't understand the mathematics part, if you can't find if you don't know the summation of the area of the trapezium, then you can't do this question. Five zero, the coordinates, y coordinates, in one point it is 5 and in other point it is 0. That's why it's given as 5 minus 0, right? Here is a question given from 2019 MCQ paper. Can you do this? It is regarding the velocity time graph. You should just find the area of the two triangles and the two rectangles. That's also a correct way. Yes. What means by retardation? Retardation is the deceleration. That means the acceleration, when acceleration, the speed is decreasing, we call it as retardation, not deceleration, slowing down, right? So what is the answer? Okay, 1, I am getting 1. Right, I'm getting 3 also, 4 I am getting. Okay, let's, this is an MCQ question. You have mostly a 1.5 minutes to do the question, right? So I can give you a small tip to do this question, right? Here there are 4 statements are there. Retardation of the object is 2 ms minus 2. We don't know it yet. Without calculating, we can't find it, right? 1, 2, and 3 don't answer it like that, darling. We can't say it like it, right? The displacement of the object is 0. The displacement of the object is not 0 because it is having, the graph is having an area. So if the graph is having an area, that means there is a displacement. So this statement is incorrect. The acceleration of the object is 10 ms minus 2, right? The acceleration of the object is 10 ms minus 2. Is it correct? No, it is not correct, right? The object has moved 20 seconds at a velocity of 10 ms minus 1, right? So here, by 20 seconds, it does not move at a velocity of 10 ms minus 1. It gradually increase the speed for 10 seconds, and after 10 seconds only, it is moving in a velocity of 10 ms minus 1. So we can eliminate number 2 and number 4. Number 2 and number 4 we can eliminate as incorrect answers. Now there is remaining number 1 and 3, right? Number 1 and 3. So the retardation of the object is 2 ms minus 2. We can calculate it and see, right? Yes, it is 2 ms minus 2. The acceleration of the object is 10 ms minus 2. It is not correct. It is 1 ms minus 2, right? How to calculate the retardation? The same way, by using the gradient. By using the gradient, we can find the retardation, right? Here, this part is given as the, this part is given as the retardation. In the graph, this is the retardation, this is the acceleration, and this part is the uniform velocity, right? So by the gradient from this point, from this point to this point, right, we can find the retardation. Here the acceleration can be found by the gradient from this point to this point. Okay. Right. Retardation is the speed slowing down, right? So another thing is there. Until now, we discussed about a vehicle or object moving in a horizontal line, right? So what happens if a object is falling down or thrown upward, falling down or thrown upward, right? So if it is happening that if an object is falling down, it is having the gravitational pull is there. The earth is pulling the object downwards, right? So the acceleration that is uh, applied on an object due to the gravitation, we call it as gravitational acceleration, right? So there are two types of graphs in a gravitational acceleration, right? If an object is having an acceleration, we draw it like this, and if the object is having a deceleration, we draw like this. Object is having acceleration, we draw it like this. Object is having deceleration, or else or else retardation, we draw it like this. Okay. So the gravitational acceleration is 10 ms minus 2. Usually it does not change. It is 10 ms minus 2. The actual value is 9.8 ms minus 2. For the calculation purpose, for the ease of the calculation purpose, it have made as 10 ms minus 2. Right. Then a mango will fallen is retardation. No, if a mango is falling from a tree, it is accelerating. The speed is increasing, right? If you put a ball upward, right? If you put a ball upward, it goes up, and at certain instance, the speed will become 0. Then only it have to fall down. Or else if the speed is increasing and increase, when you put a ball upward, it will go into the space, right? So if it is falling down, it is accelerating. If it is put upward, thrown upward, it is decelerating, right? What if the graph has both acceleration and retardation? Yes, okay, good question. Here it is here, right? So if a ball is thrown, okay, if a ball is thrown vertically upward, if a ball is thrown vertically upward, it's going up, right? At certain instance, the speed is decreasing, right? If it is going up means you have thrown balls now upward, so you can see that the speed will be stopped, the speed will be become 0, and after that it starts to fall again because of the gravity, right? So since the gravity is downward, acceleration increases downward and acceleration decreases upward, right? So if a graph like this come, if a question like this come, a object is thrown upward, and draw the velocity time graph, you have to draw it like this. You can call it as uniform acceleration, no acceleration, it doesn't matter, right? It's going to negative stage because the velocity is having a direction, right? So if we take the velocity, this side velocity as plus, right? The speed is decreasing now from certain speed to here 0 speed, it is decreasing, right? Since it is, if we are taking this side as plus, and if it is coming downwards, the speed is increasing, and we are taking it as minus, right? Here we think that the ball is thrown upward at 20 ms minus 1, right? And it is going upward, and within 2 seconds, it reaches the highest point. And after that, within another 2 seconds, it coming to the same place, right? It is falling down, right? This is we can explain the graph like that. Consider as plus and minus. It's up to you, right? Here I have considered the upward throwing as plus and the downward falling as minus, right? Usually that is how happening, because here the velocity is decreasing when upward thrown, and when it is falling back, it is downward. No, it cannot be like that, because the velocity is having a direction. Since it is having a direction, there should be a plus side and a minus side, right? It cannot be a V-shaped graph. It cannot be a V-shaped graph. Yes, the car moves to one place to another, returns to the start. It is different because it is a straight line, horizontal line. In here we are talking about vertical line, right? If an object is moving through a vertical line, this is the graph you should draw. If something is only falling, will it come to the negative stage? No. If it is falling vertically downwards, it will be like this, going up and up and up, falling down until it, after it reaches the ground also, it is having a velocity. It's stopping because it is hitting a surface, but the velocity is there, right? This is the graph drawn for a object which is falling vertically downward. How can we sure about it is horizontal or vertical if they haven't mentioned? Because if a car or an object is moving from one place to another, they will tell like that. You should know that it is moving horizontally. It can't move vertically. No, a car cannot be moved vertically, right? So it have to move in a horizontal path, right, in a road, right? But when a mango fruit is falling off from tree, it is always vertical. It is not horizontal. It cannot be moved from horizontal way, right? So when you read the question, you have to understand, right? Always something, if it is falling from one place to another, if we are throwing upward, right? If a gravity is acting on that object, it is moving in the vertical position, and other things are horizontal path, right? What is the ratio of velocity to time when something is falling down? Ratio to velocity time. You are asking about acceleration, right? That means how the velocity is changing with time. If the object is falling down, it is accelerating. If the object is thrown upward, sorry, if the object is falling down, it is accelerating. If the object is thrown upward, it is decelerating. The speed is decreasing, right? If the velocity increases, the graph line will go like this. If the velocity decreases, the graph line will go like this. Is deceleration and retardation are same? Okay, here is a question. It is taken from 2017 essay paper, right? On a heavy rainy day, the motion of a vehicle B which traveled from the beginning to the end of the expressway mentioned in 3 was as follows. It started from rest and uniformly accelerated in first 10 seconds, acquired maximum velocity. Maximum velocity is 15 ms minus 1. Therefore, it traveled at the same velocity for a certain time, and in the last 10 seconds, it uniformly decelerated and came to rest and at the end of the expressway. Including the given information, draw a rough sketch of the velocity time graph for the motion of vehicle B. Right, this is to draw a velocity time graph. So the vehicle, it is a vehicle, so tell me, it is horizontal or vertical? Whether it is horizontal or vertical? Horizontal, right? So a car is moving, right, horizontally moving. A car or a vehicle, it does not move vertically. Horizontal, right? Horizontal movement. Okay, horizontal, right? So with the help of your pen and the notebook with you, you can roughly draw and see whether you understood, because here during the presentation I can't show you how to draw. I can show you after drawing, a sketch of after drawing. Okay, moving vertically, how? If object is moving vertically upward, how, ma'am? Object cannot move vertically upward. It can either thrown or fallen down. then only it can move vertically upward or downward. Okay. So answer for the 2017 essay question. Right. This is the velocity time graph for the question given. What about rockets? Rockets, they are using another thing, force, right? A force is used to make the rocket go in a vertical position, right? So same as the when you throw a ball by your hand, you are applying a force. Because of that force only, you are against the gravity. Gravity is always downwards. Against the gravity, you can throw the ball upward. Ending time was not given in the information, right? Traveled at same velocity for a certain time, and in the last 10 seconds it uniformly decelerated and came to the rest, right? First 10 seconds were given. After that, what is the time? It was not given, so we can't predict the ending time. So last 10 seconds, to mention the last 10 seconds, we need to know the total time. We don't know the total time. Since we do not know the total time, we can't mention them, right? For this question, for the in the marking scheme, they have given 3 marks, right? Here, the first 10 seconds you have to mark because it was given. Here, from here to here, we don't know the time. From here to here, 10 seconds will be taken. But the total time here, you have to mark in the x-axis, you do not know, right? So here, the object has traveled 15 ms minus 1, right? They have said that you have to mention. Okay, right. So this is the lesson about motion in a straight line. I know there are so many questions, right? So many questions for you uh, to ask from me, right? Now we can start the question and answer session, right? Miss Faila, are you there?
Yes.
Do we need to give a break for them to arrange the questions?
Yes, we don't have any important questions from the YouTube. So children can ask their questions in the Zoom chat box itself. So before we move into the question session, there are some advertisements. So this is about the 7 fish. So some of you all might know that this program is conducted by Sir Yasmin Mubarak. He is an educational psychologist. So already 2 days have been successfully completed, and in the coming week we have 2 more days. So it would be beneficial for you all. So it's a motivational program. So the contact number is given, so you can contact it. And this is again from Miss Nabila for A-level students, biology. So we'll be commencing on September, and the contact number is also given, 072-5911-065. So if you all have any siblings, you all can inform them that they can join the biology class. And again, this is to design any logo, brochures, flyers, stationery designs. So they will do, the quality is granted. So the contact number is given. Inshallah, you can contact to make any graphic designing if you need. 077 577 1343. And this is a YouTube channel, B World. So in this, you have educational videos, specially targeting science, grade 8, 9, 10, 11. So you can learn a lot, and you may subscribe and get the knowledge for free, inshallah. Remember the name, B World. Okay, fine. So we may go to the questioning session now. Miss Nabila?
Yes. Okay, right. Okay, right. I'm not getting any questions till now. If you have any questions, you can ask.
So as you know, ma'am, if there is no questions, which means the students have understood everything, or it's the other way, isn't it? They haven't got anything at all. So of course, we had some questions previously, right, during the session. So I hope all of your questions are clarified. If not, this is the time. We have 10 minutes.
Okay, I am getting a question here. Please, can you explain the gradient? Right, gradient is not something I can explain. It is completely maths. Right, when you do graphs, when you draw graphs, there is a gradient. Right, always when you draw graphs, there is a gradient. So there is a way to find the gradient. So that is completely maths. So you can ask your maths teacher about it, because here during presentation I can't explain about the gradient. How much full mark for this question in papers, right? Usually when you get to draw a velocity time graph, usually you will get around 10 to 15 marks in an essay question, right? For drawing the velocity time graph, you will get a 3 question, and after that they will ask questions, no, find the acceleration, find the area, right? Likewise, they will ask questions, the continuation questions, around 5 to 10 marks they will allocate for a question like this, a essay question like this. Okay, if you understood everything, mashallah, alhamdulillah, very good. So I know this lesson is pretty much hard to explain it in a presentation mode, right? Teacher student interaction should be there. You have to draw the graphs with the teacher, then only you will understand the lesson very, very clearly, right? But the thing is, we are doing in online class, so as much as possible I have tried to convey the lesson in a very effective way. So I hope that you will do questions like this in your book also. They have given some worked examples, so try them out. And if you have any questions, you can always contact me through putting a mail, or you can give a WhatsApp message, or any mode you can contact me and ask questions regarding the lessons. If you have any doubts, not only this motion in a straight line, all other physics lesson you can ask. So I am ready to help. So how can we identify deceleration when drawing graph? When deceleration is when you are drawing graph, right? If it is going down, right? If it is going down, it is deceleration, right? Here, this is deceleration. This is deceleration. This is going down now. That means deceleration. Minus 3 as acceleration. Yes, if it is minus 3 acceleration means it is decreasing. The speed is decreasing. That's why it becomes minus 3. Vertically upward, then how, ma'am? Does it decrease or increase? If a object is moving vertically upward, it is going against the gravitational pull. Always the gravity is pulling something downward. So since it is pulling something downward, if it is moving vertically upward, that means the velocity or the acceleration is decreasing. So if it is falling down, it is not a problem since the gravity is also helping the object to fall down. So the acceleration is increasing. So that is something else, right? Here during these questions, I didn't do it. What is the time taken for an object to fall down, right? So that's for now. For the time being from 2015 to 2019, I didn't see any questions regarding that. So I didn't put that in your presentation, but it is a good question how to find it, right? Inshallah, we'll try to do it another day, inshallah. What is displacement? Again, going for the very basics, right? Displacement is the shortest distance between 2 points, right? Shortest distance between 2 points, right? So, okay, let's assume like this. If a person is traveling from Colombo to Kandy, the distance between Colombo to Kandy is 100 meters, right? The shortest distance is 100 meters. Then that is the displacement. But the person is taking a round way path, right? If a person is taking a round way path and travels 300 kilometers to reach Kandy, that is the distance. Displacement is 100 meters and this displacement is 100 meters and distance is 300 meters, right? VT graph to gravitational acceleration, right? Here VT graphs to gravitational acceleration. This is the VT graph, right? Mean speed or average speed. That means when an object is moving, it doesn't have a constant speed. That means it will not move in a one speed. The speed will increase by time, right? So if we assume that the speed is increasing from 40, 30, 40, 60, 80, right? So all these, the sum of three speed is divided by 3, divided by 2, right? So then you will get the average or mean speed, right? From B to C, the velocity is increasing. That means it is accelerating, right? Here the velocity is decreasing, then it is decelerating. If accelerating, why the graph drawn downward? Downward it is moving, but in the minus position because the acceleration is having a direction, right? If it is moving this way, we are telling it as plus and minus. There are two directions are there. Since two directions, we cannot give it as a V graph. When it is given as a V graph, that means it is accelerate, right? It is accelerating in the same path, right? Same direction. So since the direction is changing only, it is moving downwards. Can you explain Newton's law? Right. Inshallah, we'll see that in another session, right? How to draw displacement graph, right? This is again going for the basic things, right? Displacement graph can be drawn using three types of graphs, right? If it is not moving, if it is object is not moving, it is parallel to the x-axis. The line drawn to parallel to the x-axis. And if it is having the distance is increasing gradually, that means it is moving in a uniform velocity. And if the graph is a curve, that means the distance is not increasing gradually. That means it is a the object is accelerating, right? Okay, right. So Newton's law is another lesson, right? So in here, I can't explain Newton's law. Inshallah, we'll try it in another session. Inshallah. So drawing a velocity graph, you have to interact with the teacher, right? So the teacher have to be in front of you, and with the teacher, you have to draw the velocity time graph, displacement time graph. This is just a basic things that you need to know how to draw these things, right? So I already told you it is very hard to explain a graphical and mathematical lesson with the help of presentations, right? What will be the result when it is a curved line? Curved line means it is accelerating. Okay, I think no more questions. In a graph, don't you have to show from the beginning to end of the object? Yes. How far that they have given the information regarding the movement of object, you have to give it in the graph. Scalar and vector. Vector quantities are quantities that have a value and a direction. Scalar quantity is the quantities that have only a magnitude. Yes, only once they will give a description. In a question, they will give a description. According to that description only, you have to draw. No need to draw the full graph, right? That means you are assuming that this will happen to this object, right? What they have given only you can draw. Yes, object is at rest and object is at zero acceleration are both are different. Object is at rest means it is not moving at all. Zero acceleration means sometimes it is moving in a uniform velocity. Values can be different in the x-axis and the y-axis, right? Because those are two different values. X-axis we are usually giving the time. Time is always seconds. And y-axis, it's either displacement or velocity. Yes, the YouTube live YouTube is going on, right? You can refer it later also. Okay, Miss Phyla.
Yes. Jazakallah khairan. Thank you very much, ma'am.
The questions are being cleared, right? So acceleration for the equation for the acceleration is already given in the PDF. So we have plans to send the PDF, mail the PDF. Is it so?
Yes, Miss Nabila, inshallah. We'll be sending the PPTs for the students, inshallah. And so thank you very much, Jazakallah khairan, ma'am, for your time. And of course, tomorrow is going to be chemistry, right? So some of y'all might know what the topic is, right? Because we sent you all the email for the registered participants. So inshallah, it's going to be chemistry, one of the important lessons and one of the basics lessons. So we are going from the basics for y'all, right? So these sessions are very important for you to understand the grade 11 syllabus, right? So some of y'all might think, oh, okay, I know this and it's very easy. Yes, it's very easy, right? You might feel it so, but sometimes you don't know how to answer the questions, right? You might feel it's easy, right? But you don't know how to answer the questions when they are given in the exam paper, right? So know the basics from the right person, right? Know the basics from the people who know what they are talking about, right? So inshallah, tomorrow is going to be all about chemical bonds, right? So inshallah, learn the maximum, right? And don't interrupt the chat box, right? So we are doing this totally free for you all to understand, right, and be benefited from this program, right? And of course share this with all the others, with your classmates, right? Inshallah, they will be also benefited just like you, right? Okay, so inshallah we can end the session for today. And any more questions, you all can forward the questions to the numbers given in here. And see you all tomorrow at same time, 8 p.m. So thank you very much for all of y'all for joining for this evening. And assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.